I'm the Rev Jester. That's the Conga Man.
I'm the Conga Man!
And this is their King and Jester
Show.
The
King and Jester Show. Guys, we're back with you. We talked about doing a Garmin review or a navigation review.
Can we really work on that, though?
We're gonna do it. I was doing the Easter Island thing. Or no, was it New Zealand guys?
I don't know.
You ever heard the New Zealand
guys? You do a
guys?
lot of things behind my back, though, that I don't say.
Yeah, that's true. The New Zealand guys, they do, it's called the haka. So that's what I was doing. I don't know why, but anyway, we got this camera set up. We can see ourselves on the TV. That's why I was just trying to be funny.
Yes.
But anyway, we're back.
This is pretty interesting to watch yourself, but you could see it. I think it helps.
It helps. It does help.
help.
So anyway, we talked about doing some motorcycle navigation review for you and just things that we use when we're on our trips, right? What is the beautiful thing about the open road, Frank?
Endless possibilities.
Endless possibilities.
Endless possibilities.
But the worst thing about being on an endless possibility is sometimes that endless possibility ends up being a dead-end road, right? So you got 5-6 people in tow. Hey, let's go check this out, right? And you get to the end of it, and everybody's got to do a U-turn. Some of us are not as capable of doing U-turns, right? So it ends up being like a 32-point turn.
He's worried about dead-end roads. I'm worried about dirt roads. Not so much anymore, but this guy loves finding those dirt roads.
The road looks interesting.
Yes, it does.
On the GPS, right? So
and I'm sorry. And how does that show? Doesn't it show like it's like a little like red line or something like that?
Yeah,
it's like a little, and he just happens to find all the red lines.
You can zoom in, zoom out on this. But anyway, a few years ago now at this point, I decided, you know what? I want to get myself a good dedicated motorcycle GPS. And over the years, I hacked, car GPSs that weren't really suitable for rain and all weather and stuff like that. And, $80-$90 at the time. Let me just, mount it to my motorcycle. I had some wooden block that was attached to the handlebar that I screwed. It was so jerry-rigged, So now it's like years later, I'm like, man, I do, I used to do professional motorcycle riding, but now I do motorcycle riding as a hobby. And, would it be nice to have a dedicated GPS unit? Now, some people have, don't have a GPS unit, use your phone. That's fine, right? Nothing wrong with using your phone, right? People, what's it, quad lock? I think Nick has a quad lock on his motorcycle. And listen, I've used a job issued phone for when I had to navigate, on the motorcycle. And they say that the OtterBox is waterproof or water resistant.
Some of them are water.
I found it to be water resistant.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty sure the OtterBox is water resistant, and then they have what's the other one, life proof.
Okay.
I think that one's completely sealed.
Right, but anyway, so the OtterBox not waterproof.
Yeah, no,
right,
no.
But
it'll get you through. I think.
Right. But
drizzle.
I've ridden some really bad rain, and the issued phone was mounted to my handlebar, and it got soaked.
It was an issued phone. Who cares?
Yeah, not my phone anyway. But again, I use that for navigation on that motorcycle. But
it requires cell signal.
Yes,
and that's the big difference.
So that's the other thing too.
So
yes.
Cell signal is needed for your phone if you're going to use your phone.
Correct.
Unlike
this
dedicated,
exactly,
right? Which is, I'm sure you were getting there.
Right. Yeah. No. Perfect.
Which I didn't necessarily think about until you told me about that, and I was like, wow, yeah, I didn't.
Oh.
Not that I didn't know it. I don't. You know what I mean? But like, just never dawned on me. Like, I always have my phone. It's always on, and whatever.
Right.
You drive. Typically, when you're driving in your car, right, you have cell service.
Typically.
Yeah. I find when we're on a motorcycle, we wind up in these remote areas.
Very remote.
And we have no signal. Hence, a dedicated GPS is going to come in handy.
Right.
He likes going remote.
We like going remote. We like going remote.
We do.
You see a lot of cool things.
I like going remote now. In the beginning, I'll show you my first bike right here. Not so good on the remote.
Right. Doable because of his skill and ability.
It was doable, yes.
But, right. So, yes, having a dedicated GPS signal, true, hardwired to the motorcycle, constant power, constant, navigation ability. This is very intuitive to use as well, we'll walk through that. But this is the Garmin Zumo XT model, right? But Frank has the Garmin Zumo XT2. which we were just
the updated version of it.
Updated by a few things. So we were actually just looking at them side by side. His is a little bigger than mine. I didn't realize that. Had no clue.
Not
Right?
much, but it is.
Not much. It's a little bit bigger.
But it is actually, if you look at it, if you could see, the black border on yours is also thicker than on mine.
Oh,
so
yeah,
not
yeah,
only
yeah,
is it
sure.
bigger screen overall, it's also a little more edge to edge, and it's
So
not edge to
before
edge.
we dive into the Garmin Zumo XT and the XT2 and
So it is
talk
significantly
through the
bigger.
difference, Frank, when you bought your BMW GSA, he purchased a device that he was very unhappy with.
Well, so the
So
BMW,
why don't you talk about that and why?
So the BMW,
You would not recommend it.
You could get a dedicated GPS for it that Garmin makes. However, all the reviews on it were real. It's the BMW Motorrad
Okay,
Garmin,
right. I remember
proprietary.
that. Yes.
Plugs into the cradle. It's only for the BMW.
Right.
But all the reviews that I went over, a lot of people are having issues with them, and it just who wants to have an issue? You're spending a lot of money. I think it's like $800 or $900,
Right.
Like for the unit, again because it's proprietary to BMW. So a lot of the reviews were not necessarily negative, but they were having issues. But the positive thing is, from what I understand, is that Garmin's fully aware of the issues, and everyone that has written a bad review has sent it back to Garmin and just got a replacement. But you're waiting for that replacement.
Right.
There's
so lag time between
you're
figuring
getting
out
ready
there's
for a
something
trip.
wrong.
I got
Yeah.
now to wait for Garmin to send me a new one. And it's pretty much, as far as I know, it's been like no questions asked. They're well aware of the issues that it has. And if you have any issues, they're just replacing it. So kudos to Garmin.
But it was so
Hands
that
down,
Garmin unit was made for the BMW
specifically
to
go
play
in
with
there,
the
cradle.
toggle wheel and
Yes.
everything like that. All
Yes,
right.
and
So
yeah,
that's
the Wonder
the
Wheel
difference.
and
The Wonder
everything,
Wheel.
correct.
Thank
Yep.
you.
So I didn't want to spend all that money. So I wound up
$800 is a sizable amount of money. Absolutely.
So prior to speaking to you about the dedicated GPSs, I was basically getting like a CarPlay unit. So there's a couple of them. CarPuride and Chiggy were the two big ones that kept coming up.
Now, are they for motorcycles in general or specific to
So no,
BMW?
they're specifically for motorcycles.
Okay.
But the Chiggy one, I think CarPuride actually makes one as well, dedicated specifically for
The cradle.
the cradle and the BMW cradle, and will work with the Wonder Wheel as well, similar to the BMW dedicated one that they sell. So I said, let me give it a try. It was going to be at least $300-$400 cheaper than the BMW one. So I took a chance. I thought ordering it from Chiggy themselves would be the better way to go. But it turns out it really wasn't.
Now, how'd you do that through their website?
Just through their website.
Okay.
Yep. So I ordered through their website. Thinking of any issues, whatever, you're going direct to the manufacturer and what have you. Let me quickly say, don't do that. Do not do that. You can get probably even a better deal on most days through Amazon. Get it through Amazon.
Because
Simply because if you have an issue, you could just go to Kohl's, all right, and drop it off
here you go.
and get a refund.
Take it back.
Yeah, take it back. No issues, no questions.
It's true.
No nothing. With Chiggy, they require you to become a
Diagnostic expert.
diagnostic product review,
R&D.
research and development person. So when I had brought it to their attention to say like, hey, it's not working, first thing they said, well, try this, try that. So at first I'm like, okay, makes sense.
Now, was
Let me
this all try
that.
that through email or through phone?
Oh no, it's through email.
Huh.
So another,
Lag.
oh my God, terrible. And it's funny too, because usually when I buy something, I usually see if there's a phone number, check the contact, make sure like it's legit.
Right.
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 But I mean, Chiggy's out there, like they are big in the motorcycle world. Everyone's looking into them and using them, what have you. So let's get to the point here a little bit faster, right? After months of research and development, one of the things they were asking me to do was go try it on another BMW.
Yeah, because he's got one laying around.
Yeah, I have several of them just in the garage. Don't we all? Now, honestly, I don't care what bike you own, right? You have the FJR Yamaha. Right. Go try yours on another FJR Yamaha.
Right.
Where?
Right.
Who? I don't know that many people.
Right.
Anyway, so I wound up having to bring my bike in for my first service at BMW. Now, BMW has plenty but now I'm asking them to do the research and development.
Right.
And listen, Max BMW in Connecticut has been great. All right. So kudos to you guys. Thank you very much for the help. So they took my Chiggy when I brought my bike in to be serviced for the first time, the oil change and checkup and whatever.
Checkup.
They wound up putting my device on another bike. And it didn't work.
It didn't.
It didn't work.
Oh.
So same thing. So then I went back to Chiggy and said, hey, my dealership tried it. And they said, no, it didn't work. They
and it's
couldn't
not
get it
convenient
to
to
work.
get to a dealership either, depending where you're at.
Right.
But anyway. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Again, we're in New York. The closest one is, there is a BMW in what do you call it? Another Max, but it's up in, is it Utica?
Yeah,
Either way, it's further away. The one in
yeah.
Connecticut is actually more convenient and
Sure.
closer. So they helped me out. But Chiggy was like, okay, try this. Try this. It went on for quite some time, and it was very, very frustrating. After, like I said, several months of R&D, trying to do things, they finally sent me a new one.
Yes, I remember that.
They didn't ask for the old one back, which I thought was a little bizarre too. So they just sent me a new one. Here's a new one. So I tried the new one. I got the same result.
And
Same
the
result.
issue you were having was, what was it? The Wonder Wheel wasn't connecting, or was it not sitting inside the cradle correctly? What exactly was the issue?
When I first got it, it was connecting. It connected to the bike, powered up, and it was functional.
How does it connect? Through the ports in the back, or is it Bluetooth?
No, it's got the proprietary cradle that mounts up directly to.
So it's directly
the
into the
BMW
harness
cradle.
at that point.
Yep,
and there's a way on your TFT screen, right?
Yes. So then on the TFT screen of the BMW, right, there's like a navigation indicator and let you know if your navigation is connected to the bike. And
so
most
similar
of the time
to
it
like
wasn't.
Garmin and its proprietary
Right.
BMW motor rad.
Correct. Yep.
So it senses Chiggy as a separate device
Yes.
for that motorcycle.
Yep. And then it'll integrate with all the other function of the bike.
Right.
Essentially. So after a while, like I got it to work, I think momentarily in the beginning. And then it seemed like if I hit a bump, it just wasn't connected. So if I pressed on it a little bit, the navigation would light up again.
Didn't they want you to try a different cradle too?
Yes, they were telling me that it was the BMW cradle that was the issue.
Didn't Max BMW replace your cradle?
They ordered it, they got it in, and then at that point I was just fed up and I wound up ordering the Garmin.
Okay, so BMW, again, Max BMW was willing to help
Yes.
through the issue.
And at no cost to me either. At no cost to me. Well, they were gonna swap it. And if it did the same thing, well then nothing. You know what I'm saying?
So they were willing to swap the cradle on the off chance that
Correct.
the cradle was incorrect, as Chiggy had mentioned that it might be
Yes.
the cradle.
Correct.
So even, Max BMW taking on their side
Yes.
to say, hey, well, all right, you have this issue. It's a brand new motorcycle. Right. So they were willing to help.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm sorry, Chiggy sent you I'm just clarifying for our viewers.
Yeah, so they sent me, so I'm sitting there with two of them, and neither one of them worked. The new one was actually worse off than the other one. Like I couldn't even get that one to work by, again, the little pressing and pushing and making sure like I cleaned the contacts and make sure everything was good, like nothing.
And who wants to be dealing with that on a trip?
No one. No one.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Who wants to be dealing with that on a trip? So anyway, Frank,
always make sure you have good friends that you ride with that have dedicated GPSs.
So that is what we talked about because Chiggy wasn't a GPS unit.
No. Again, it was
CarPlay, so it was relying from your cell phone signal.
So just like in your car, you have Apple CarPlay or Android. What is Android?
Android CarPlay?
Yeah, whatever the Android version of CarPlay is.
I have no idea.
But anyway, so
believe it or not, I'm not really a tech guru.
Yeah,
I'm not.
That's basically what it is. So it just gives you, you know, your music, your contacts, your, again, Apple CarPlay on your bike.
But the Chigi was touchscreen.
It was, listen, I gotta say, it was a very well-made device. All right, very similar to the Garmin.
So solid.
You know, yes, it was solid. The material and craftsmanship looked like it was top notch.
So your only real main complaint then was just the connectivity to the motorcycle. Everything else worked.
It worked independently, but it didn't connect
It wasn't
to the
integrating.
bike. Right, it wasn't connected
All right.
to the bike the
So
way
it worked.
it should be.
The device, the unit worked,
Yes,
but you
Yes.
you didn't have the full function of being able
Correct.
to navigate from the toggle
Right.
wheel. All right.
so, but I could have bought any CarPlay device off Temu. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
right.
And it would have worked.
So
The
which
point
gets
is
us,
that he's paying top dollar
Yes,
that's integrated into
exactly.
the bike.
So now, you know, after Frank had seen me using my Garmin for a while and me raving about the Garmin, Frank went out and bit the bullet on the Zumo XT2, right? Zumo XT2 is not going to connect, integrate into the motorcycle necessarily, right?
No.
So you cannot use a toggle wheel anyway. And even from what you're telling me, this is cheaper than the BMW GPS unit from Garmin,
Yes. Oh yeah.
all right? So I think
Yeah, a few $100 cheaper.
Yeah, so they list for $499, $599 nowadays, right?
I don't know. What was that link that I sent you?
But the one you sent me the other day was $449.
Yeah, that was a
All right.
really good deal.
So they're going for a great price now. All right. So I got
Well, not everyone gets that deal. I think that was more of a private deal. But
Oh, really?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
but whatever.
Like, subscribe, comment. He'll get you a private deal.
Maybe I get you a private deal. It is a good deal, and it's a phenomenal unit.
Yeah, we like it. I like it. So the Zumo XT, I don't know what year it came up. We'll figure that out. But if you look on the back, there's a way to toggle this on. All right, you're going to have to hold that. And I don't know. I haven't charged this in a while, so we'll see if it actually fires up. Which it won't, sadly. Wah, wah, wah. Probably should have been ready for that. But we can go off of his. But if you look at here, all right, there's a big difference between the two. All right. This uses the USB-C mini, micro mini. What did we decide that what this was? All right.
That's the Mini.
So it's the old, like two, 3 generations ago. His is going to be the USB-C. Same cradle, right? So I can put this into his
Correct.
cradle, but the caveat is his cradle, you needed to buy a 3D AM.
It's by a company 3D AM. Yep. So
right.
it's a 3D printed, right? Hence 3D. And what that does is it mounts
Inside the cradle.
inside the cradle. It still gives you, if you're familiar with the BMW, the GPS unit locks into the cradle via the key. So this adapter goes in there and you're still able to use that same function.
Right.
It does stick out slightly more than if it wasn't there, but it's not like super obtuse. You know what I mean?
And so I have the cradle as well from Garmin. All right, it comes with a couple ram ball mounts. All right, you can ram ball it anywhere. But then you have the actual power cable that you run through.
Yep.
You had the same thing.
Yep.
Where'd you run yours into on your motorcycle? The power.
So there isn't really power. Mine just goes directly to
Right, but the cradle itself.
just goes right into the BMW. Get power everything right from the cradle.
Yeah, but Garmin had its own cradle.
I didn't use any of that. You did. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like you have to do that and run your power. Mine is, again,
So, but why did you have to get the 3D AM thing?
because this
Right.
doesn't match up to. So in other words, the 3D AM matches up to the Garmin Zumo.
Okay.
And then the
so you
back
don't have
part of
you
that-
don't have a separate wiring harness.
No.
So
No, it's
3D AM is
integrates it into
okay, so
the
perfect.
BMW
So you
cradle.
still have a spare cradle.
Yeah, I have everything.
So he's got a spare
Yeah, 'cause
cradle
the
for Benny's
BMW
motorcycle, for example,
Yeah.
if you want to switch it over. All right, so I didn't know that. So mine, I had to hardwire.
Right,
Now
you had to run all the
you can,
wires down to the
you can
battery.
run down to the battery. I chose not to do that. I have everything on the switched power into a fuse block, and we'll do a video on that too. All right. But the neat thing about Garmin is, and we'll go off of his, there's a cool another feature. What is it called? Where you can link the two.
Oh, what we tried doing.
Yeah, I don't have that feature on the old Zumo XT. Frank has it on the Zumo XT2, which is called Group Ride. And I guess the Group Ride function is now it'll recognize all the different riders and show them on the map too, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Right? Because we always got one guy who's lagging behind. Where's this guy?
Arnie. We love you, buddy.
We love you, right? But we want to know where you are.
So I don't know the range.
Well, I'm sure it just at that point just functions off your phone. Or does it communicate GPS to GPS?
Yeah. So I would imagine the range is.
So we were trying to set that up one time. There's a way to do it with the old Garmin Zumo XT.
You'd have to buy that.
You'd have to buy an
adapter
and stuff like that. Okay, well, I'm not getting into that.
Yeah, you're better just buying just upgrade to the Zumo XT2.
Frank on his screen can tap where to right from the screen.
Yep.
Right there, where to, and you can type in, if you set your home address, if you put in a different address, different waypoints and stuff like that, right? Convenient way to use a GPS. What do we usually do? Okay, there's a couple ways that we can connect. So with the Garmin, it's Bluetooth, right? It's GPS first of all, but it's also Bluetooth to your phone. So if you download the Garmin app to your phone, you can communicate to the GPS that way, right? So I have on my phone the Garmin Drive app, but I also have the Garmin Explore app. Those are two ways that I could communicate with this. The Garmin Drive app is just a way for me, and I'll put the screenshots of it up, ways for me to put in addresses from the phone. Next time the motorcycle powers up, the unit gets power, it'll send the address automatically, and we'll have the location, right? So we look up restaurants, for example. What's the near restaurant? Boom, 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 send it to the Garmin. Now, I use Garmin Explore to be able to say, hey, I want to go from this city to this city, but I want to either go a particular route, right? Or I want to go, you have different paths you can put, right? Most direct, highway, fastest, slowest, or explore route. So I can use that through the Garmin.
Which is really cool.
Explore,
especially when you're on a bike and that's what you're looking to do is kind of just find the most scenic routes, if you would.
Frank has to use so this is now for the Garmin. So I have an Android phone, Motorola old phone, right? Older GPS. Frank has a Zumo XT2, and he uses the Garmin Tread app.
Yep. That's how
similar to the Explorer, huh?
So I was trying to find it.
Right. So similar to Explorer, Tread is going to be proprietary to that one now.
Correct.
It's weird. There's some language stuff that you got to learn how to speak and stuff like that, But the nice thing about the Garmin unit is it being a dedicated GPS unit for the motorcycle, weather resistant, waterproof, essentially, and something you can use. There's different ways you can have the map set up so that you can, kind of, scan out, and it's called bird's eye view.
Yes.
There's topographic views. There's all kinds of views on this, which have been very useful for when we're, on the fly, just riding around. Sometimes we don't even put in where to go. We just go.
Just go, yeah.
And then it's like, all right, as we're watching the GPS, hey, this will link up here. I think that looks interesting. And
right. That's how we found that the waterfall up in Whittier. We took
yes.
So on here as well is great rides
from Garmin.
Right, from Garmin. All right, so you can just pull up where you are and just go like local great rides. What's nearby? Show you all the great rides that are in your area.
Right.
So we were in Connecticut and we found that one ride.
Yes.
And we're like, we'll take this one.
Yeah.
We got to the end of that route. And as you get closer, I guess, to certain areas, it popped up. Ding, ding, ding. This is nearby. Right? And the falls came up.
Yes.
And then we said, hey, there's a waterfall right around the corner here.
Which we ended up
Jabez,
walking.
as you probably know by now, loves to walk. So what better thing to do than walk in the woods and find a waterfall?
What I love doing is walking downhill to a waterfall. Because when you walk downhill to this beautiful, luscious view, you got to walk back uphill to get to it. Back to your ride.
It was a great, great trip. We really had a great time.
But
anyway,
on that hike,
very cool that they just pop up.
But on that hike too, Frank, we did cross from one state to another.
We did.
And during the hike, we
did.
saw this monument in the ground. Oh, look at that. I wonder what that is. It said Connecticut on one side.
Connecticut on one side.
And then on the other, I was like, I wonder what it says on the other side. It said Massachusetts.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. But that just shows you how far we wander in a ride.
Mass.
No. No, this is New Mexico. NM, New Mexico.
Connecticut, Massachusetts border. That's great.
You think God left this behind?
Yeah, it was
You know.
well, we'll post a picture.
Right. But
It was a,
again, the Garmin, I wish I could turn mine
big
on.
stone. It was
Well,
a
let
big
me see what
stone.
else you got on yours here. So Frank has his plug, then I got my plug somewhere in here. All right. Track recorder you can use. All right. I don't know if you can see it here. There's a bottom portion here that says track recorder.
I probably
Right.
have a cord somewhere.
You can track your current route. You can track all routes that you've done, right? It'll store it to your GPS if you put in the SD card, or it'll store it on your app, right?
Well, I think the Garmin itself has, I'm forgetting.
Inside its own, like
Yeah,
200
it has
megabytes or
internal
something like
memory.
internal memory.
It's not a lot,
and
but
it'll
it is
start
something.
rewriting itself.
Yeah, it'll just
right?
rewrite, right.
So, but what I've done is, if you want to track a ride that that was a cool road, you can look back later and find out where you were,
Yep.
just to kind of have an idea. So similar to Google Maps, I don't know, Apple Maps has that, your history and stuff like that, right? It kind of track you. But again, when you lose cell signal, right, it doesn't give you exactly where you were. Versus this is going to give you point to point. Legit, if you look at my saddle sort video on the Conga Man channel, that's how we were able to track our route through the New York State in-state run.
Which is a requirement for the saddle sore.
Exactly. So that we were able to use and submit those documents or as documentation for our trip. So again, Garmin, are there others that are out there? Absolutely. Is this probably one of the preeminent ones? Sure. Is it worth the bullet? Is it worth biting the bullet to buy?
Yeah, I think so.
The $5.99, $4.99, whatever it was, it's a little pricey.
Yeah.
Okay. But another cool thing about the Garmin is you hook it up to your phone, right? But now also we ride with the Sena 50Ss. All right. I can hook it up to my Bluetooth my Sena to this, and I can change my music that I'm playing on my phone from this, right? Yeah, you can toggle and stuff like that and change, but you can also go into the menu here and change your, whatever you're listening to. Select next, that sort of thing. So very cool unit. I got the screen protector, right? Just because I'm clumsy.
I do too.
Mine does not lock into my motorcycle, so I cannot leave it overnight, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it can.
Again, this one locks.
Yours
yeah.
does. And I have the screen protector now, but what happened was we were up in Maine, and I threw it into my helmet, right? But the visor was open, so when I walked away, the thing slid out and boom, right flat like that on some gravel. I'm like, and so I look closely. There's a little scratch in the screen, not a crack, thank God. So now I bought this little protector just to protect the screen.
Yeah, I did that straight away.
Yeah, I think based off my recommendation, get the screen protector. But I lock it in on my motorcycle.
A lot of things have been off your recommendation. But these are proprietary, or not proprietary, but specific for motorcycles.
Yes.
So don't just get any Garmin.
Right.
The Zumo
Exactly.
is for
motorcycles.
I don't know if Garmin, other than the BMW, I don't know if Garmin makes any other ones that are for motorcycles.
I don't know.
But there are other brands out there. We're not
Absolutely.
necessarily pushing
Absolutely.
Garmin for any reason.
We just have it.
Yeah, we have the Garmin. We've come to like them. I don't even know, like TomTom. Right,
Yes,
is one of them.
TomTom's one.
And there's a couple. I know there's other GPS brands out there, but just make sure you're getting a motorcycle one.
And
That it's going to be outside
the nice
in
thing
the
with
weather,
Garmin
it can
is
get wet. It's IPX rated and all that other good stuff.
And the nice thing, like Frank had pointed out, is the nice thing about the Garmin is it does have a wide community base that plugs in those great rides. That update that information for group sharing for all of us to partake in. So very useful unit, worth the money. Bite the bullet. If you're going to be out there exploring, have a dedicated unit. No. So that's
Garmin does stand by their product, and that's I can't speak of not
Did
saying
you-
that other companies don't, but
Did you have to buy? So I remember, this is my fourth or fifth Garmin at this point. Between car GPSs and whatnot. Did you have to buy like a North American map or anything like that? Like a subscription? Do you remember that at all?
No, it all came preloaded on there already.
I understand that, but do you have, in order to update the maps?
Oh yeah, I think when I first got it and the updates came up, you have to put in your region and your time zone.
But
things
do you
like
have to
that.
pay for it?
No, I'd have to pay for anything.
I can't remember if I paid for a subscription. I think I did with my car GPS, but I don't remember if I had.
No, I didn't pay for any
to do this.
subscriptions.
But
on
again,
this.
he just plugged in now, and it's asking for a
update.
Update.
Yeah, I think it's
right?
free updates for life, if I'm not mistaken.
It may very well be. I can't remember. Again, it's my fourth or fifth GPS. But another cool feature being that this is Wi-Fi.
He's going to upgrade to the Zumo XT2 as well here soon.
Anybody want to buy it?
Group rides, yes.
But-
we're selling this one. We're taking offers. Put it down in the comments.
It'll be free to our 100 subscribers.
Ooh, that might be something.
But it's got Wi-Fi, right? Both of these have Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
That you can update over the air.
Correct.
Going to take a little bit longer. You can plug it into the computer as well to do an update, through...
Yep. It'd probably be a little bit
through
faster,
the
I would
online,
imagine.
what's it called?
That thing.
Using the computer, but anyway, just, I know it turned into a lengthy video and we didn't share too much technological information about it. I'm sorry because mine is, not working, not powered on. But, you could change your music, access your phone records, great rides in
There's
here.
a lot in there, yeah.
Bird's eye handlebar controller. What's that? Is that for? The handlebar controller allows you to access features on your navigator without touching the screen.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Oh, show him. Can you see it? Can you see it? Look, right there.
Huh. How cool is that? All right. Tracks, track recorder and tracks. So track recorder is the way to record, obviously, where you've been. Tracks is to build a specific route that you want to take. So you can actually go into the Garmin Tread or Garmin Online and build your actual track. I want to take this very specific route, make this very specific left turn.
And then upload the files to this. And
Save it to your phone.
Yep.
Upload it to that, and it'll give you your direct route. And, music player, smart notifications. Yeah, text messages will show up.
Yeah, I got to turn that off. It's annoying.
Yeah, it is annoying. I don't have it. So there's a helmet guide here as well. When you're changing
you go
state
from
to
state to state.
you know,
It'll give you
Pennsylvania
notifications.
into New York, for example, it'll bing a notification. Connecticut into New York or vice versa. It'll tell you helmet law. You got to pay attention to what's going on. Connecticut, I think Pennsylvania doesn't have a helmet law necessarily.
But it will let you know, which is
You can control
pretty
wireless cameras from here, apparently, as well. All right, so your Insta cameras, your GoPro cameras. It's just a very cool unit. The people who did the research on this really did a lot of thoughtful thinking to be able to give a top-notch product, in my opinion.
And if you forget, all right, there is that where I've been.
Yeah.
All right, so you can go back in and say, oh, I know that route was in Connecticut or Jersey, here or there. You can go in then see where you've been.
So very cool. Travel history. As they do updates, there's so look, by date, by time, places you've been. Very cool. Restaurants we've checked out. Hey, where was that one spot? So it's just a cool unit. Highly recommended. Right?
Lots of cool features.
Great with the gloves, I will say. Right?
Yeah, because it's not
haven't had an issue using with gloves.
Yeah, because you don't need
tactile sense.
It's not. Yeah, it's not really. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not dependent on that specific. What do you call it? Like you could, I can kind of probably just touch it with this, and it just moves with the sticker.
And it's great. And here's another thing too: when you're riding around the rain splashes on it, it doesn't move your screen around either. I don't know how it senses that.
It senses, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's another cool thing, right? Nothing frustrating like having rain hit your thing when you're trying to navigate and see where you're going, and it goes to a different screen. So, again, Garmin Zumo XT, Garmin Zumo XT2, and Chiggy.
No. No.
But
listen. You know what? If you're gonna take any piece of advice or any takeaway from any of this, just buy the Chiggy on Amazon. So if when you do have the issue, you just return it. No questions asked.
No questions asked.
If
it's
you
done.
buy it from Chiggy, they're gonna ask you to do R&D, and then it's gonna be through email, and it'll take. There were times it took 2 weeks for him to even get back to the email.
Eventually, he did get his money back.
I did eventually.
Got your money back. He sent in both units, returned both units.
Yeah, then I had to send in both. He sent me one for free, essentially, but I had to send both back to get my
Right.
refund.
Right.
And that's perfectly fine. I'm okay with that.
What was it, $500 unit?
And then it took, I think, another month for me to get my refund. Anyway, Amazon, returned it to Kohl's. As soon as Kohl's dings
Scans
it, you're getting your refund.
Alert.
So again,
Refund.
that's the only takeaway. Just buy it from Amazon.
There you go.
And try it out.
You want to try it out? Try it out. We're
Just
not
try it
pushing
out.
one way or the
Yeah.
other. It's just our
Yeah.
experience.
Again, and this was again specific to the BMW. If you have a non-BMW, you can hook it up the way the Conga Man did, hardwired through the Garmin cradle and wiring, what have you. All right. So same thing. If you're going to wire it up through the Chiggy cradle and wiring, maybe you won't have any issues.
Right.
No
Maybe,
issues
yeah,
whatsoever.
exactly.
Again,
Just his
it
experience
was a well-made unit.
was a drama.
Oh, it's not only me. Again, it does seem to be specific to the BMW
True.
family of people. You know
True.
what I mean? Like, because it's just an issue with the cradle and the Wonder Wheel. But like I said, you're paying top dollar for it to work with all those integrated features. You want it to work.
And again, it is a CarPlay
Apple CarPlay
device.
or Android.
So it's not a dedicated
GPS,
standalone.
yes.
This is a GPS unit that does a lot of cool features.
Right. That doesn't require cell towers
Right.
and
It's-
service, and it's GPS
Right.
satellites.
Right.
And they're pretty
Versus
much
your phone is your phone that can
Right.
do GPS.
Yeah.
You know, so that's something for you guys to weigh out. Just,
dedicated is definitely the better way to go
And
if you plan on going remote. And then the other thing is too that this can go very long here, and we're going to cut it short here, I think.
Yeah.
But again, being on the adventure bike, and eventually you're going to look into getting something.
Yes.
Right. If you're on these BDRs, all right, the back road discovery routes.
One guy I met said, you know what BDR stands
I
for?
said backdoor.
So the one guy goes,
backcountry discovery routes.
backcountry discovery route.
Yes.
One guy said boring dirt roads. That's
Boring
what
dirt
BDR
roads, yeah. Anyway, the point of that is you're going to be in a remote location in the woods somewhere, and you're not going to have cell service, but you will have GPS service.
We did
to
30,
get you
40 miles
through.
of the Pennsylvania BDR.
Yeah, we
and we
did.
knew exactly where we were.
Yep, because of GPS, yeah.
You know?
So definitely a dedicated unit is the better way to go. And again, not much more or,
So you do lose
price-wise
You do
anyway.
lose the Wonder Wheel though, right?
Again,
That function's
BMW
not there.
specific. But with this one, you can get the Garmin version of the Wonder Wheel if you would.
Oh, yeah.
It does have that, what do you call it, if you get the XT2. Yeah.
Yep. So anyway, just a brief talk. Well, not brief now. It went a
Yeah,
little
no,
bit long,
it's
but again,
not
we
quite
just have a
brief.
lot of things that we want to talk about. If you guys are still sticking with us, thank you for listening. We're just having a blast doing this.
Yeah,
right?
we'll just sit here all day and just
Sit here
chat to
all
you
day and
guys and
chat.
talk to you guys, and hope you guys start watching and tell us what you want us to talk about, and we'll talk about that too.
How many times have I watched YouTube videos just to fall asleep? So maybe this is
jeez.
one of them.
Ooh. Then we'll just have to start talking with soothing voices. All right, guys. With that said, we'll see you on the next one. I'm the Rev Jester,
I'm the Conga Man.
and this is the King and Jester Show.